everyone, and happy Monday morning to all of you. Today is November 4th. We made it. Woo! Can't
Woohoo!
believe it. Clocks returned yesterday, so time's off for everyone today, and everyone will be late to meetings, and there'll be an hour off of everything. It's just always what happens on a Monday. Luckily, many of my clients that I'm working with today are actually in Arizona, so it should be pretty easy. But JaRee, we're so happy to have you here as the owner of My Freedom First. And we were just talking about the future. And I think so many of us today, especially with tomorrow being election day, that people are focusing on what is the future going to look like. And there are so many things in our control, and there are things out of our control. And if we've voted, we've shared our voice, we've gotten out there and said, this is what my choice is, and then we wait to see what the numbers show tomorrow. But there are things that we can control in our future, and those are the things that we're going to talk about today. And JaRee, you've brought so much financial peace to my family, just with my husband and I being entrepreneurs and knowing that one of us could be injured or something could happen, and we might need some benefits to assist us during that time. Tell us a little bit more about My Freedom First, and who, like, families you've been able to serve and how you're serving them with not only like short-term benefits like my husband and I were able to get with you, but also infinite banking. I think that's important too.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Colleen. I just love your beautiful face. It is my favorite time when I get to spend it with you. It is just so fun.
Oh,
But thank
same,
you. So,
same.
really, what My Freedom First is all about is about that taking control of your financial legacy and your financial future. It's so priceless that we understand what we can do, what is out there. It's just priceless information that we need. So I love that I get to share that with people. I love that I get to break the box of the financial tradition of just set it and forget it and don't worry about it. And I really impacted a lot of families. As you said, talk about the families. I love being such a blessing to families because they don't know until they know what is out there to do with their lives and their financial future. And so what happens with this small portion of what I do for your financial legacy is living benefits. And what happens is we are protecting you for all intensive purposes of what's going on in your health, in your medical life. So if there is a major illness or like a terminal or critical or chronic or injury or critical illness, you can access your living benefits right now. Because I want you to think about something, Colleen. All the insurances that we pays someone else when something happens, like the doctors, the other things that take place. Everybody else gets paid from all the insurance that we've paid. But when it comes to living benefits, it pays you. You. You need your bills to be paid. You need the mortgage to be paid. When something takes place in your life that is absolutely unforeseen, lots of things take place for people. They're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I did not know this was coming. Oh, I have a cancer or, a stroke or a heart attack or things like that happen to people every day. And they have no idea that they can access their own living benefits unless they knew that they existed. So really what I focus on for the personal aspect of your financial legacy is the living benefits, because nobody wants to spend their life, setting up their financial plans, setting up the 401ks, the IRAs, all these different things, and then deplete it all because you need it right now in a medical emergency. So instead, what you need to do is just say, okay, I am going to set this up so that I can access someone else's money, right? You're leveraging someone else's money. And isn't that what the wealthy people know that they want to do? And infinite banking is just another avenue of being able to set up your own bank and use it for what you choose, not what you're told to use it for. Use it for what you choose. It's huge.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest shocker that happens for most families when they start working with you and you start understanding their financial setup, how they're financially set up. For some people might want to retire, and they might be looking to stop working and then have money to be able to pay for their regular bills that they have. Money is a focus, whether we want to
Yes.
to put it in the forefront or not. We need it for shelter, we need it for clothing, we need it for food, and those are just the basic things that we need it food for. But money is a huge
Yes.
focus. So
Mhm.
what would you say, as you're working with these families, that they're realizing the biggest thing, that they're just not set up to ever be able to retire, that they're not protected in so many ways for the, like you talked about, cancer or strokes or those things that come up? I've seen so many videos that you've shown us of families that just was not expecting someone in their family who was a provider to get sick.
Right.
And life is precious, so that can happen anytime. What is the biggest shock, I guess, factor for these families that you're working with, and they just didn't realize they weren't protected?
Well, exactly. The biggest shock is, wow, I did not see how much expense was actually I was gonna have to pay. When something happens medically to you, you have no idea what is not covered. And
Yeah.
that is an overall statement of, wow, I didn't see that coming. I had no clue. Oh my gosh, I have really good health insurance. But wow, now I've got to pay an extra $60,000 or 150 or 200,000, all these things. And it's like, where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
And if you don't have it setting in your retirement accounts that you've built your whole life, then what are you going to do? And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, I don't want to spend all that hard on earn money, but then I'm the primary earner in the family and I've got to survive this. And what do And so what happens, Colleen, is their biggest shock is the unforeseen expenses that take place. And then having fear of, I'm going to lose my house. There could be
Mhm.
foreclosure going on right now. How are we going to eat? All the things that you automatically think of whenever the primary provider the life has been adjusted. The
Yeah.
entire family is impacted by it. The second thing that is a big deal is that people don't realize the magnitude of the taxes that they're going to pay in those 401ks and IRAs and other accounts that they had no idea was in the fine print. And the rules that go along with it.
That's how
There's
we
so many
started
rules.
today. You might have gotten that 401k and the IRAs, and they were pre-tax dollars. And then your life changes 20 years, 30 years. We have someone different as a president. The tax regulations have
Yeah,
changed. You're maybe making more money, which most likely you are, because everything's, inflation costs more money than it did 20 or 30 years ago. So now you're in a much higher tax bracket. We have no idea what the taxation actually is based
right.
on who is in office, and all of that you're just leaving up to chance. And then when you do decide you
Exactly.
need the money, and I've seen this thousands of times, you get a tenth of all that money that you put away because the rest of it goes to taxes. And that is so sad that we've spent our entire lives and didn't realize that the best way we thought to do it and the savings we thought we were getting were pre-tax dollars, but in the end, all that money goes to taxes and we hardly get any of it. And that's like that was the biggest wake up call for me as well, and why I rolled things over in working with you. And I think that's another thing. We can roll things over that we already have, so they can start gaining income for us without all of the taxation issues. There's so many things that we can do with your plans that you have. So, what would you say is kind of the first thing someone needs to do? Should they get in contact with you? Should they read a certain book? What would you recommend for someone? I know we've got some links here, and I'll start dropping them as well.
Well, I definitely recommend that they get in contact with me, and simply because there's no fees to talk to me. A lot of people automatically, when you hear financial advisor, you're like, oh, wow, I'm going to get charged for every single second of my time with them, and that's not true with me. I don't believe that we should charge fees for everything that goes on. I believe that it should be a free consultation until you fully understand what is happening. And yeah, the taxes are astronomical, not to
Mhm.
mention the market fluctuation. And we're on today thinking about presidential change and all of that. And who knows what's going on with our market, what's going to happen in the future. And as you said, we have no idea how much taxes are going to impact our lives for the future, not to mention your health and so many other things. I mean, it's just like this big, huge event that could take place. So, most of the time, when somebody is hit with huge taxes in their 401ks and all of those plans, they have no idea the magnitude of what that really is, and
Mhm.
how that can impact their lives. Because yes, the tax brackets you're in could be a total different scenario by the time you hit retirement, which nowadays is not even really a thing. But it's also focusing on the fact that you need that money. You've spent your life putting into accounts where you are believing that you're going to get out a significant amount so that you can then live your life the way you choose. And then when you find out that that's not the way it works, that you're going to pay a lot more than you thought, there's desperation, and there's grief, and there's anxiety, and there's disappointment, and all of that takes place because now you're realizing at a late year in your life that maybe I can't retire. Maybe I can't do the things that I wanted to do. And it's really unfortunate. So, what I suggest is yes, you do have a conversation with me, because everybody's situation is different. Everybody has different ideas of what their future looks like. And you shouldn't be put in a proverbial box and just say, oh, this is what you should do. And, just set it and forget it. And we're okay. And 25 allocations later, you'll be a multimillionaire and don't worry about it. And you really, I mean, if you think about it, does it feel comfortable to just go, I hope I chose the right plan and the right
Yeah.
person? And wow, this is my entire life savings. You shouldn't ever do that. And that's why I do these educational classes too, to inform people and make sure that you are making the right decision for yourself, because taxes are not our friend and health issues are not our friend. So we do have plans. There are things out there that you can do that will ensure, Colleen, that you never run out of money. That's huge. And yes, you heard
Yeah.
that right. You'll never run out of money if you will look at the other things that you get to do with your financial legacy. And that is what I specialize in. I don't want anybody to ever come to me and say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I thought I was going to have more. All those questions. Oh, am I going to run out of money? Am I ever going to retire? All the things. And you should not have to have that conversation with yourself, your spouse, or anyone else. It should be in your control.
Yeah.
That's what I focus on. Yeah.
I love that. And I know how strong you have faith and work with so many women that have faith, that are of faith. That
Yes.
is very important to you as well. We've
Yeah.
put a lot of contact information, and we'll have it in all of the comment sections today on how to reach JaRee, from phone numbers to websites to emails. You can book a
Thank
call with
you.
her on her calendar, connect with her on her Facebook or her LinkedIn. Thank you, Samuel and Kipling, who made some comments today, as well as Muna. We appreciate you being here today. This is serious. And I think that the thing that we need to remember the most, JaRee, is the outcome of what happens on Tuesday is out of our control. If we've already
Yes.
voted, we've had our voice be heard. What we can control is what our future looks like. And working with you in all of those areas is so important to know that we are rock solid on the things we need to choose for here and now, what is happening in our life, what could happen in the near future. And I think it's important that we're focusing on that. I really
Yes,
do.
it is. And Colleen, I'll just say this. I believe the Father wants us to be wealthy, and He put it in our control to make sure we are doing the best we can for storing up for our family and our children's children. That should be a focus for all of us. And taking
Agreed.
care of yourself, my freedom first. You got to put on your own mask, they say in the airplane, right? Get on your oxygen mask and then help everyone else.
Agreed.
That's what this is all about. Yes, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Colleen.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And thank you so much, JaRee, for being a member of the LEAP community. And we're so honored to be able to spotlight you today and all the time, as much as we possibly can in our community. It's so beautiful to see you. And I'm so happy with the success you've had, because you're lifting families and you're securing their futures. And what a beautiful way to be able to accomplish a career. It's
Yes,
it's
thank you.
very,
And it's
very
such an
awesome.
honor to be a
Yeah,
blessing to you and your family. I'm
yeah.
so grateful.
Well, thank you, JaRee, and to all of you out there, we hope you have a wonderful week. We will all be watching the election results with you,
Yes.
and then we will see you next Monday. So come back and join us then. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Bye bye.
Yeah.